Hello and welcome to Yin Yoga for our Gallbladder Meridian. We are going to start with alternate nostril breathing to just kind of get the yang energy going a little bit downward. And we're going to start by inhaling on the left nostril and exhaling through the right. So we're going to take the right hand and bring the two middle fingers in towards the thumb, and then we'll have the pinky and the ring out, and the thumb is also out. They're kind of making a little pact. So we'll just have this one right here for now, and we can just put it right on the top of the nose and take 3 nice deep regular ujjayi breaths, regular ocean breaths, just deep breaths without closing off any nostrils for now. Take a nice big inhale, just letting the breath come and go and starting to move it a little bit deeper through the body. Breathing in the back of the throat. Breathing through the nose. One more. Exhaling fully out through both nostrils. And then we're going to close off with your thumb on the right side and inhaling through the left. Closing the left and exhaling through the right. Closing the right nostril, inhaling through the left. Closing the left nostril, exhaling through the right. And we're going to keep that going for another minute. Inhale left, exhale right at your own pace. So by inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling through the right, it becomes this nice circuitry of energy, of kind of cooling the whole downward flow in the body. We'll do 3 more rounds. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. One more round, inhaling. Put your right hand in your lap. Exhale through both nostrils. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And open your eyes if you kept them closed like I did. And take a comfortable seat onto your tush or onto your sit bones, and you might sit on a pillow or a blanket. We are starting with the neck. The gallbladder runs on the outer layers of the foot, the ankle, knee, zigzagging up through the hips and around through the ribs, and deeper layers and up through the neck, around the ears and to the temples. So it's going to be a little bit of a side body practice today to clear any stagnant energy and help our gallbladder function and flow in a nice, clear way so that we have a nice flow of energy in the body and we sleep better and we breathe better and the organs work better together. So let's start with half butterfly, half straddle, side body and neck stretch. So take your block or your pillow or your book or something. Put your left forearm onto the block inside your left leg, knee. Take your right arm up and over and just let it neatly hang over, and we're starting to just open up and targeting the layers on the right side body. And you're probably feeling this a little bit from your iliac crest, from your hip side, and up through the ribs, up towards the shoulder. Maybe it's mainly down in the hip. And we're just letting this soak in. And we're doing these yin yoga poses within a nice level of like a 0 to 3 in your comfort zone. Within like up to a range of maybe 10, which maybe we'll do that sometimes in our other yoga poses. But we'll stay nice and easy and just let the pressure, gravity target and do the magic in towards the layers of the meridians. This time with intention in towards the Gallbladder Meridian that runs on the side of the body. And we'll give it a few more breaths right here. We're dividing this pose up into 2 different layers, side body first. And then we'll take the right arm over towards the right side and drop the left ear maybe a little bit further down and coming in further in towards the right side of the neck. Now the right wrist has like a kind of a nice little shelf holding pattern right by the right side of the neck in a nice alignment. And then we might just go in and to the layers of the neck and release from the shoulder to the base of the skull to the ear. Breathing, relaxing all the muscles, leaving the muscles out of it and letting all the yin poses go into the ligaments, the tendons, connective tissue, fascia, and that way they get to target the meridians. We'll take another 3 breaths here. And gently take your left hand on the side of the left head and come up to upright seat and switch to the second side. Take your right leg out. Take the block in a comfortable spot or your prop of choice. Take your right forearm onto your block for a nice comfortable support. You might have the block in a different level. Whatever your side body tells you where to put the block, you can always go in and check with how it feels on that left side and just drape your left arm. Maybe it's up here, maybe it's over here, maybe it's not making it up to the ear. Check in with you and see how it feels. And we have about 10 breaths here. Going into a comfortable zone and space on the left side of the body. Just by relaxing into it, we are having a nice time targeting the gallbladder meridian that runs on the outer layers of the whole lateral side of the body. The downward flow. And we do our best to relax the muscles, heavy bones. And gently from here, take your left arm and find that magical spot for the wrist to hang out, right in alignment with your shoulder, right below the shoulder. And then let your
neck, your head become a little bit heavier and coming into the deeper layers, or the layers that targets just the right spots for you in your left side of the neck. Breathing into the layers, checking in with your toes that they are relaxed. We'll stay another 3 breaths here. And coming with your right hand to the right side of the head and bringing the head upright and having a nice flow in the neck and all the way down to the hips. Take the block to the side. We're going to come into side seal, which is coming over to the right side. And you can straighten your legs or you can bend your legs. Take your right forearm parallel to your yoga mat, and yeah, we're just going to lay on the side, and we're going to go and find like this nice place where we can elongate a little bit more, or just kind of let the pressure come onto the right hip, to the right side of the body. We're just laying the arm onto the hip and just simply laying right here. If you want some more support, you can chug a couple of your most comfortable pillows right underneath if you need support. You can also just let everything relax down, and it'll be a nice lift into those 6 saccade layers of the gallbladder meridian on the right side of the hip and into the lumbar, and it will kind of have a nice effect and arrangement on the lower back, on the sacral area. So we're going to stay right here. You can just let your head be in a comfortable place. You can have your head upright. Breathing, softening. We have about 15 breaths here. And if you feel like you need more support, then you bend your legs in. And if you need less support, then you take your legs out and stack your feet above each other. Letting it kind of be a gentle stretch from your iliac crest on the hip and up towards the armpit, shoulder area. And just staying in this pose is like medicine for the hips, medicine for the right side of the waist, for the ascending colon. Three more breaths here. And gently bring it back up. And you can simply come on your belly or on your back and just roll to your second side. I'll turn so that I can see you. You can see me. So let's come down onto the left forearm, side seal, maybe starting with the legs bent for support and just kind of letting it, take its nice time to open up into those deeper layers on the iliac crest, right on the top of the hip, in towards the waist. Also targeting the descending colon, and wherever we need to have our hand, being as passive as we can into the side of the left waist. And just kind of helping to open up that downward flow. And we have about another 15 breaths here. We lay as passive as we can and just trust in the pose that it's doing its magic. Few breaths here. Into any of the tight areas, we'll just direct the breath into those places. Maybe feeling some layers in the left hip area, opening up, feeling more easeful. It can get really tight in the side crest of the hip up towards the waist. It's nice to give it some extra attention in a pose that probably maybe we don't do so often. And just relaxing into the left side. And we'll take another 3 breaths here. And gently lift your head back up. And let's come onto all fours and do just a few cat-cows to kind of even out the sides, arching the spine. We're just moving slightly around to feel a little bit more connected, evened out on both sides after doing those right and left side seal poses. Can be a little pressure on the shoulder. And let's do one more. And slowly we're going to make our way into banana pose. One of my favorite ones because it feels so good for the hips and the lower back, and it kind of works in parallel with the liver meridian. So the liver meridian flows upward and the gallbladder meridian flows downward, and one runs on the inside of the legs and the body and the sides and middle of the throat, and the other one, the gallbladder, goes down and zigzags and comes down to the outside of the foot. So they work in a pair. So this one kind of elongates one side and presses on the other side. So this one, they kind of intervene, do a little yin yoga dance through each other. So we'll kind of get both, they get kind of intertwined here a little bit. So let's come onto your back. Shift your hips, lift them up and shift your hips over to the right side. And then take your left foot out to the side of your mat, or just to the side if you're not on a mat. And then take the right ankle over the left. And sometimes you have to kind of fix and tricks around a little bit. It's difficult to kind of get into. The key is to have the sacrum flat down, and the legs don't have to go very far out. And then we're gonna hoist our upper body, the shoulder blades, over to the left side of the mat too. So we are shaped as a banana, and the right side is getting a nice big elongation. The right arm comes, either you take your arms out to the side, or you can take them over your head and find your elbows and hoist yourself over more if you needed to the left side. And you have kind of feel yourself at the shape of a banana. So here you are, here we are. Let's just do our best now to relax the toes and the muscles, and you should be feeling this in the right side of the hip, and there should be a compression on the left side slightly on that hip because it's kind of caved in. So we're back at that ascending colon, we're back at the right side of the hip, and it really goes all the way from the pinky toe around the ankle, outside knee, hip area, and you can really just feel how it zigzags up through the rib cage and the shoulder side of the neck and up towards the temples. So we'll stay here for another 15 breaths and enjoy a banana pose for our gallbladder meridian. And this one also intertwines with our liver, of course. They work in a pair. One goes up and one goes down. Letting the breath move through all the layers. Checking in with all the muscles that they don't have to hold the pose for us. We're just laying heavily and letting just the shape of the body bring us into the layers where it needs to go to help us balance our gallbladder meridian. And we'll take another 3 breaths here. And gently release the hands and move your toes and your fingers and take yourself to the center and just give yourself maybe a couple of arches with your spine back and forth, and then moving your hips over to the left side, and your right leg comes out first, and that gives you kind of a chance to lift your hips and just kind of adjust so that you're flat on your sacrum, so we're not rolling to one side or the other, because then it'll just be a rolling to the side rather than a a crescent stretch on the whole lateral side of the left side of the body. This time, let's walk your way over to the right side with your shoulder blades, with the upper body, and either take your arms out like a Sphinx pose, like a cross or cactus, or take your hands over to your elbows and hook your left ankle over your right in a nice secure way. So find a good place where your ankles can just kind of hang out and mingle together and do like a little dance, a little banana pose dance. And from here, we're just going to lay for about another 15 breaths and just letting the shape of our body soak in towards the side of the whole left side, all the way from the pinky toe area around the ankle, up through the knee, through the thigh, zigzagging through the hips, especially on that left side. Since we're targeting that, we want to just keep our mind there for a moment. And then up around the rib cage, in around the shoulder, hitting the side of the neck and also up towards the temples, around the ear. Moving the breaths all the way from the temples and down to the toes. And just laying in the pose, toning and cleaning and clearing Gallbladder Meridian, helping us with better sleep, helping us with our activity level. Relaxing all the muscles as fast as we can. There's always layers that's going to want to hold on, so we want to make sure that we just give them permission to fully relax and let our mind and body go deeper into the pose. And another 3 breaths here. Enjoying the openness in the whole left side of the waist, hip area, IT band, helping the knee feel happy, clearing any pathways in the knees to the ankles. And slowly release your banana pose. undoing your hands and your ankles. And just take a little roll up, lifting your hips up, getting a little air underneath your hips, and then taking them back down. Taking a couple of windshield wipers side to side. Moving energy both in the outer layers of the hips and the inner layers of the hips. Kind of moving some chi around for the meridians. Big junction in the hips. We'll do one more each side. And then from here, we're going to come into another supine pose and upward facing shoelace pose. Taking our legs in and up, and then hooking your right leg over your left above the knees, and your lower legs goes out to the side, and you can have a strap around your knees, or you can have your hands around the knees. You can have it around your left hamstrings interlaced, wherever it works for you to hold your hands. And this is perfect right here. If there is a need for a little bit more, so you come up to like your comfort zone of about 3, 0, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So you feel something in your outer hips. So we get a nice big turning into the lateral side, the whole IT band that hosts the Gallbladder Meridian. And a nice squeezing on the adductors, a nice squeezing for the liver meridian at the same time. So we just lay here and hold on to our ankles or our shins or our hamstrings, wherever we ended up. And relaxing everything that we can from here. We're just simply holding on to the legs with our hands and letting the knees be heavy, letting the ankles come out to the side for the kind of the feedback in towards the outer of the hips. Relaxing the chest, the belly, relaxing the shoulders. Sinking in through the layers. We'll take another 5 breaths here. And slowly switch to your second side. Bring the legs up and switching sides. Take your hands around again if it's the hamstrings or if it's the strap that's holding you and lengthening so that you can have a little longer arms if needed for your hips, hamstrings, or taking your hands around your ankles, lower legs somewhere, and then sinking the sacrum down and squeezing the upper legs together and letting the lower legs just kind of hang out to the side. Letting the shoulder blades be on the floor, letting the elbows be bent and arms are heavy, muscles are heavy. Letting the gallbladder meridian and the liver meridian have a nice little time together. One is being stretched and one is being squeezed. Excellent, pumping some chi through the layers for healthy organs. Gallbladder is supporting the liver, cleaning the blood, supporting it with bile to break down any debris, toxins. So we support the gallbladder with our physical body to give the gallbladder meridian a nice yin yoga session. Letting the muscles be heavy, letting the muscles be relaxed, and just letting the deeper layers be squeezed and pressed and turned in a nice supporting way. Take another 5 breaths. And slowly release the hands and the knees. Stretch your legs up towards the sky. Take 1 breath in happy baby pose. Counter stretch our squeezing the legs together, and then we'll bring it back in and roll all the way up, and or come to your side, something comfortable. Take a rolled blanket or pillow, something that you have close by, and you might use it, you might not use it. We're going to come down and stretch the front of the foot down towards the pinky toe area. So sitting down into a toe squat might be plenty right here, to just sit and get the pressure onto the ankles. So it's an ankle stretch that will also put pressure on the front of the foot and definitely through the ankle. So if you wanted to take it into a little bit more for the ankle, you can take a pillow or a cushion or a rolled blanket and put it underneath the knees or underneath the shins and raise it up and get a little bit more lean in towards your ankles. So we'll sit here and enjoy this for like our final pose for this Gallbladder Meridian Yin Yoga class session. And let's take and get a little bit more in towards the shoulders with your right arm underneath and your left over, and take a eagle arms squeeze, and we'll just hold it here. And we can keep it absolutely just upright with the head. You could also
take it down towards the left shoulder and stretch in towards your right shoulder. And you can relax your arms down, you don't have to hold them up. And then we come back to a neck stretch, shoulder intertwining, stretching through the upper back and holding that ankle stretch, opening the pathways out to the toes. We have 10 breaths on this side and we have about 5 left. And gently raise your head up. If you had it tilted over, switch to the second side. I like to just give it a little breath. Inhale and then take your left arm underneath your right. And you might be over here having a shoulder stretch this way and tipping your head over to the side. And you can interlace your hands for eagle arms. You can tilt your head over towards the right side, compressing one side of the neck and stretching one side of the neck. Pumping some chi through our gallbladder meridian. We have 10 breaths here. Breathing into any of the tighter areas, giving it some oxygen, some ease. And by all means, come off the pillow if it's too much for you. Another 3 breaths. And gently bring your head up, release the arms. Take a nice big inhale out through the arms and exhale, take it back down. Come up onto your knees and tuck your toes under, step off of your pillow. Take yourself into a tabletop and stretch that right foot out and maybe just move a little bit through the ankles back and forth this way and that way. And second side, moving it around. I like to take a down dog for my ankles and my knees after that one and just kind of pedal a little bit in towards the heels. And then from here we have arrived to Shavasana. So we'll take our 20 breaths in Shavasana under a cozy blanket of sorts, if you have one handy by, if you needed one. And then from there we'll come back up and sit together and savoring our time in a shorter meditation. Cover up, get yourself comfortable, take your hands out to the side and just let all of those poses integrate all the way. And we're just kind of visualizing nice healthy chi energy
Yin Yoga energy rolling through from our temple, side of the ears, around the shoulders, zigzagging through the hips, down the knees, ankles, and to the lateral side of the foot. And just kind of savoring that. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths to find your way into your Shavasana. Shavasana is also an excellent place where we get to open up our minds for new ideas, for new downloads, for more awareness. For more health, sipping into all the areas of our body, the deeper layers and the outer layers, and the surrounding layers too. And another 5 breaths. Moving toes and fingers. Stretching your arms over your head. Feeling rejuvenated, cleared and cleansed. Just by laying around in some really comfortable poses that is designed to bring health to our body. Let's come into a comfortable seat, please. And cross your legs. And we'll take also 20 breaths, which is about 3 minutes in a seated closing meditation together, to letting everything just kind of make sure that it's aligned with a center line and outward and inward from that. And it's just nice to find that nice clear new spot to sit in for a moment to update our energies, especially for our gallbladder meridian today. Just allowing to be seated still, letting the breath come and go as it likes. If we needed something to meditate on, we could meditate on fresh squeezed lemon juice, the warm for the gallbladder, it loves that. We can also meditate on celery or celery juice for the gallbladder, and that way the gallbladder and the liver meridians and the organs will just be like so happy, harmoniously working together. If we feed them some healthy, juicy foods, we'll just imprint that with our seated meditation. Gently make your way out of your meditation. Gently open your eyes, bringing your hands together in front of the heart. And I invite you to join me in an Om to close our practice. Take a nice big inhale. And I want to thank you for joining me for this Yin Yoga practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. I love Yin Yoga, and the next Yin Yoga we'll meet will be for the stomach meridian and then for the spleen meridian, which they do work in a pair together. So I hope you join me there, and I will see you then. Namaste.